Okay, what we got? Do all pro gamers think the same? From 100 Thieves. Okay, what is going on over here?
If I ever have a kid, not gonna let them like touch a video game until like they're at least 14 or 15. So
Lies.
like, you know. No, I just like I wouldn't let my child, you know.
111?
Yeah, I was, but like.
Wait, then how can you ever take that away from your kid?
Should at the very least have to verify your ID to play any ranked game mode.
But if you're like a grown-ass man,
Oh,
like
shit.
downloading and paying for cheats, then you should definitely be going to jail.
Oh shit.
right.
Oh my
First
god.
topic. Esports athletes are real athletes.
Oh, esports athletes are real athletes. So what do we got? We got strongly agree, kind of agree, neutral, kind of disagree, strongly disagree. So if you've never seen like taking a test or something like this, or maybe like a job interview type of thing, there's only two answers. There's only strongly agree, strongly disagree. All this other shit, you just seem like not confident at all. So anytime you like you're trying to answer some questions that have these type of answers, yeah, just choose strongly agree, strongly disagree, and just be able to back up either side. Okay. This is the no zone. Do not be here at all ever. This means no confidence. This means all the confidence. Okay? Fake it till you make it. Okay, esports athletes are real athletes. Obviously, if it were me, I'm going strongly agree. Wow. Wow. All the pro gamers actually don't even think that they're like comparable to like real athletes themselves. Wow. This is a sad day. What a clown show, guys. Really? This does not look good. Bro, if I'm Nade Shot, I'm dropping every one of you. You guys have no confidence. You guys have no charisma. What are you doing? Are you kidding me? We're not real athletes, guys. Oh, hunch my shoulders, head down. Hands in my pockets, hands in my pockets, hands in my pockets, pockets behind my back. Oh, I kind of feel shameful. Oh, I'm just a lucky guy. I'm not really this type of. I'm not a real athlete. Gold Glaven. No, this is fucking retarded. Are you kidding me? You ask anybody that plays in the NBA, NFL, NHL, what else? Anybody that plays like track and field, anybody that does like gymnastics or anything like that, which is harder, to become a professional in your favorite sport or some video game? Which is harder? Which do you think you have a better chance of? They are all going to say, I have a better chance at being at least going professional in the sport rather than the esport. Are you kidding me? Just as a regular video game professional, you have to do so much playing of your game, many hours a day, more so than any like physical athlete. Are you kidding me? Physical athlete, like what? You have your sport specific training, your non-sport specific training, or your general fitness or whatever, strength and conditioning. If you want to do cardio, you can, but it's not really required. Only if your sport requires it. You know, if you're a soccer player, you should probably like do. I don't even know. I don't fucking play soccer, but I imagine those guys have to be able to like run for a long time. You have to have like some sort of like strength and flexibility or whatever, but you can't do that for fucking 8 hours a day. You can't do it for 10, 12 hours a day. Are you kidding me? Video games, you could go from dawn till dusk. And you have to perform because studies show who is generally the best players in video games. It's the guys that play the most. All right? So It's all it is just a race to the most hours. That's all it is. Okay? In sports, you kind of have to be lucky. Your body has to like have the right genetics for like the sport or something like that, for like weightlifting, swimming, gymnastics, baseball, basketball, football, soccer. You know, there's a lot of things like your genetics that come into play. Video games, you can get pretty far by just grinding. But not everybody wants to put in the work. So these guys are all spineless to me right now. Holy.
He changes his opinion based off of other people.
Oh, at least somebody has the confidence. At least one person. Oh, thank God for this dude.
I think
Oh, and he didn't even go strongly. He just went agree. I changed my mind.
95% of or esports athletes players aren't like physically athletic, so like calling them like esports athletes kind of isn't real. But at the same time, it's like what we do, I think, is just as hard as what pros do in other like real sports, or it could be even technically harder. There's like less pro Valorant players than there are like NFL players, basketball players for each team. I do think we're somewhat can be considered.
And it's even more so when you talk about like FPS M&K games, okay? You know how hard it is to fucking put a reticle on someone's head? Or like at all? Like with accuracy, consistently, over and over again? It's really hard. It's a simple thing. You know, basketball, it's so simple. Put the ball in the hoop. How many people can do it? Not a lot. But it's a simple concept. Football, throw the ball, catch the ball, run as fast as you can. Simple concept. Weightlifting, clean jerk, snatch, simple things. FPS game, put the reticle on the dude's head. If it's a high time to kill game like Apex or like Overwatch or something like that, you got to be able to track. If it's a fucking Counter-Strike or Valorant, it's like, bang, just go there and click. All right, simple concepts. How many people are able to do this at a high level consistently? Not a lot, all right?
Considered athletes, but like a lot of us are not physically, athletic, and that's what an athlete is. That's not me though. I'm an athlete though. I'm an esports athlete.
Jesus.
I personally.
That was like pulling teeth. But I at least commend him for at least being the only dude in the agree side.
Disagree because of kind of the points you mentioned. We're not physically athletic at all.
Well, this is number one. This is understandable coming from Call of Duty pro. He better be talking about multiplayer and not Warzone, first of all. Number two, it's Call of Duty. There's fucking aim assist bleeding out of every fucking orifice of it. Okay? These guys cannot fucking aim worth a damn if their aim assist is off. Are you kidding me? What are we talking about here? So this is understandable coming from a Call of Duty professional. Yeah, I agree with this guy. No Call of Duty pros are actually esports athletes. Yeah.
I speak for myself. I got no physical athletic ability.
So what are we doing? Are we just imagining the other guys are dead, or us putting the ball in the net in the video game? We don't have to do any hand-eye coordination, have any like reaction time or practice of pattern recognition or anything like that. All of what we're doing, this like playing video games, all of this is just happening in our minds. I'm not doing anything with my fingers, my hands, my arms, nothing. And even I'll extend the smallest of an olive branch. You're not doing anything with your thumbs. You're not doing anything with your eyes. You're not trying to predict where the enemy's going to be. That's all imaginary.
And I do agree that, mentally and in other aspects, we probably do match up, but I don't think in the traditional sense that we fit the definition of an athlete.
Yeah, that's fine if we don't fit the traditional sense. That wasn't the question, though. Esports athletes are real athletes. It depends on what your definition of real athletes. The question is kind of loaded in that they shove the word in real. But again, all these guys are talented in some way, shape, or form, despite their actions and whatever comes out of their mouths and how dopey they look going like in this like little mid area or whatever. These guys are all really talented at whatever the fuck game they're playing.
I'm like neutral about it. I mean, I agree. Like majority of the pro players aren't athletic, but I think there are also, you know, you kind of look at like League of Legends players. They also go work out. You know, they take care of their bodies, their mind. You know, I think it is like a routine that people should do. You know, as a Red Bull.
What about professional darts? What about professional bowling? What about let me see. What about professional archery? What about professional like gun shooting in the Olympics? You saw the cool ass assassin guy. All right, he's like a tippity top guy in whatever he's doing. Would they consider themselves like it's this word athlete, I think, that is baffling everybody's mind. Everybody has like a different definition in their head of what the word athlete and even more so real athlete means to each person. Yeah, you can be a professional at any little knick-knack hobby.
Gaming athlete myself, you know, I'm considered an athlete, but I'm also like, I get it. It's video games, so it's kind of neutral. It's whatever way that you wanna think, but yeah.
There is a link to violence in video games.
Ooh, there is a link. Is there a link to violence in video games? Let me see. I'm not even gonna say what I'll say what I think. There is no link to violence in video games. All right, this is the easiest layup. I mean, the last question, you know, everyone's got to wrestle with like the definition of what's an athlete. Am I an athlete? I don't even know. But this is a fucking layup. All right, okay. This is the easiest of easy. There's no link to violence in video games, despite you know, every GTA, what every news reporter would say GTA does to you know, their kids or whatever. Like, oh, a new GTA comes out. Now we got to spark up the old violent video games, make violent people argument, and you know, you know that's gonna come up whenever GTA 6 comes out. Are violent video games ruining our child's lives? What do you think, everybody? No. If this is me, I'm standing way the heck over here. Strongly disagree. This is so easy. All the other wrong answers are over here. There is only strongly disagree.
Real life violence and video games. There is a link.
I'm gonna go with this. Slightly disagree, for sure. At the end of the day, it's just like a video game, you know? You should just have fun, just like, I don't know, try your best and see what happens, you know? So I don't think
Okay, I don't think this guy understood the question. Like, at all. At the end of the day, you should try your best, and he's just vomiting out word salad, okay? And he's in, like, the slightly disagree side. Okay.
there's like any violence in that. Yeah.
Wait, can I say something?
So if that's the case, why aren't you standing to strongly disagree? What's the difference between strongly disagree and disagree?
Because I think this topic is like kind of debated like with the normies or whatever, like normal people, but it's like to do real dangerous like acts of crime, like you have to be insane, like to kill someone or do anything like that. I don't think video games propels you as like a human to do that anymore. Like just because you
At least this guy has balls. Holy crap, he was talking over there on the agree side, now he's talking over here on the strongly disagree side. This guy, at least he stands by like whatever he stands on. Thank you.
shoot a gun at other people in a game doesn't mean you want to go kill real humans.
I'm just on disagree.
I'm gonna what? Why are these guys like all so shy about saying that?
For this, because I can see a world where people are,
No wonder, all these organizations have the hardest time trying to pry content out of whatever Joe Schmo content creator they sign up. Literally, like, besides like that dude, nobody has a spine to say anything about anything. Holy.
Playing the video games, and they are making or doing violent things in the video games to do it in real life. But for me, when I'm mad at the video game, I'm just more mad at my controller than anything. So like, I don't know why you need to take the game or the anger outside of like your house or outside the game.
Yeah, I'm neutral.
Okay, that's fine. So why are you standing on the agree side or the disagree side? This guy is an absolute clown. Why are you in neutral? You cannot say anything about like here or there. What are you doing? Okay, people throwing controllers and shit. That's been happening since the dawn of video games, all right? And you don't think all these people playing sports ever throw fits? Bro, how many times have you seen like a tennis match or a golfing match? Motherfuckers are just breaking the shit out of their tennis rackets, breaking the shit out of their golf clubs, or even like skateboarding or anything like that. These motherfuckers are jumping straight down in the center of their skateboard and just hit that shit like and crack that like bang. All right, of course people get frustrated in other things besides video games. What?
Because I've heard it like mentioned in the news or something before, but honestly,
Oh, the news, good old news. I heard it in the news. If it's on the news, it's 100% true. If it's on the news, the news only has my best interest at heart.
yeah, I've never like looked into it at all or like researched it, so I just don't really know like at all. Never looked at it, so I can't make a decision.
I don't know.
Is that like PR?
That's my number 3. That's my number 3.
Yes, that's the PR answer.
League of Legends is the hardest game to go pro in.
Oh. League of Legends is the hardest game to go pro in. I don't fucking know. Probably.
I don't even play League, and I'm agreeing.
I'm just saying all your opinions are wrong if you don't get on this road. Little Timmy is maybe
Fortnite is the hardest mechanical game. Fortnite's the hardest.
Okay, here we go with the gatekeeping. My game's harder, your game's harder. Okay, this is hilarious. Like, mechanics. There's too many characters. The game is so organic. You have to know what's possible to be able to crank 90s and all this other extra shit, okay? To be able to be like the tippy top aimer guy or whatever. This is... I mean, if it were me, I would just say fuck it. Go strongly disagree. You guys are clowning on yourselves. If you think you could literally just one trick somebody and just go pro. There.
Mechanical game in the world. So going pro in League is super hard. It's much harder, yeah. I think the process, yeah, but that has to do a lot with the league, in my opinion. I'm on agree because I think mechanically, I think League is definitely one of the hardest games to be good at.
Are you sure?
But it's not the hardest. I think Fortnite and Rocket League are definitely mechanically harder. But I think the process of becoming a...
That is pretty true. With Rocket League, I mean, understandably, Rocket League is like hurting right now in terms of player base because the game has been out for so long and the skill gap is so massive. Yeah, Rocket League is pretty tough. Fortnite, like as far as like the build part of Fortnite, yeah, that's pretty annoying because that skill of like building is not like you can't really transfer that skill to like any other game besides Fortnite, whereas like the aiming aspect of Fortnite is, I would say, more transferable. So on that aspect, I'd probably say, I mean, but then again, what are the only two games that people give a shit about that are MOBAs? League of Legends and Dota. if you can't go pro in League, you could try to go pro in Dota, vice versa. Other than that, there's only 2 games for MOBAs really that anyone cares about, whereas there's a bunch of different shooting games that you can take that transferable skill of aiming. But I mean, you know me, I am Aimer Bro, and I will always shill for the aim game. You don't have to be the best aimer. You just have to be a better aimer than the other guy.
Pro in League, especially like a North American pro, is virtually impossible. And that's just kind of how the league is set up for League of Legends. And I think that has less to do with the game itself.
I think because of how popular League is, it's really easy to just pick up the game, play with your friends, and basically every pro I know kind of just got good at the game without trying too hard. They just played the game for fun, and it got really easy at a certain point, and they got to a like Apex tier. But when I look at other games, I think FPS and stuff, I've heard people calling that Tetris.
Oh, really? FPS is Tetris. Oh, well, it's understandable when you have games like Call of Duty in there that have like a massive amount of aim assist. Understandable. And also, take into account the only shooting games that people give a shit about are Counter-Strike and Valorant. All right, those are flicking games. All right, those are static clicking games. There is virtually no long time to kill shooting games. All right, why? Because tracking is hard as fuck. It just is. What are the tracking games that are FPSs? There's, what is it, Quake Champions? But even then, you have like, what's like the sniper one-shot gun or whatever? There's that gun. What else? You have like Deadlock, also made by Valve. That's supposed to be like their, what do you call it? Like another competitor for like some other game. It's like a MOBA, but it's also FPS where you like kill creeps and shit and like go back to base and get items, then come back out and do it again. Like what long time to kill shooting games are there? Like Apex? I mean, yeah, but there's a good chunk of controllers in there. Yeah, just no.
It's like I think it's much more mechanically skilled to do those games. You have to try extra hard to practice like certain mechanics instead of.
Wait, are all these the League of Legends bros and all of everybody that's not over here? Are all these guys like FPS bros?
Just playing the game. So for me, League is pretty easy.
I played Valorant for 2 years, but I'm still like gold. So I think FPS is more harder.
Yeah, me personally, I think it's kind of in the middle. Yeah, I feel like it kind of depends on like the kind of games that you were playing growing up, because I played a lot of MOBA growing up, so it kind of came natural to me, whereas aiming and shooting, like I can't aim for shit. So I think, yeah, it just kind of depends on the games that you played growing up. And I mean, I agree that it's really hard to get into the league scene, especially for NA now, but in terms of the mechanical difficulty, I find obviously shooting games a lot harder. So
yeah,
I think it's just each to their own.
I think League is
shooting games are harder. This is not news.
Far more complex in the sense you have to, it's more of a knowledge gap.
But the question is, League of Legends is the hardest game to go pro in. So if this is the case, just go pro. I would probably say League of Legends is hard to go pro, but for the cap of mechanical skill, I'd probably say FPS. There's a higher cap. It just is. So, I mean, as for the question, League of Legends, the hardest game to go pro in. Yeah, why not?
Where you have to know just to get into the game, like over 160 characters. I mean, 100 items, you know, passives, all this stuff. So I think League's just a huge knowledge gap. And for people that just aren't good at it, it's hard to be good.
There is nothing wrong with a game copying another game's mechanics or formula. Do you agree?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with copying another game's mechanics or formula. Strongly agree. Yeah, almost every fucking game has copied some sort of mechanics or formula from another game that came before it. So, yeah, absolutely. Strongly agree. This is the easiest. This is another layup question.
With that? Or do you disagree? They should be more original. or if it's okay.
I have a good example, I think.
There is nothing wrong with copying, but you should also try to do something original with your game. I mean, and we're not even talking about, like, we're just talking about just random games. We're not even talking about, like, professional games or anything like that. Bro, for Fortnite to be able to have, like, sprinted the way it did, other games had to come before it. You had to have PUBG. You had to have H1Z1. You had to have Arma. All right, all those games had to come before, so Fortnite could just break out of the womb sprinting at 1,000 miles an hour. All right.
Depends on how it's executed. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Intention, execution.
I think if you look at a game like Marvel Rivals right now, that is literally a one-to-one copy of Overwatch. It's literally, Marvel Rivals is like an amazing game right now, and it's literally just a one-to-one copy of original Overwatch.
Okay.
And everyone in the world right now, or not everyone in the world, but a lot of people are playing it right now. So I think that in itself just shows you, like, copying a game one-to-one, it could...
I mean, it's not exactly a one-to-one. I mean, it's using all Marvel characters. It's using things. It's using abilities and shit that are not in Overwatch. So it's not a one-to-one.
Still be an amazing game, even if it's not original, as long as the mechanics are good and how they execute it.
So as Busio said, like, some mechanics like Overwatch, the main gameplay, it's like perfect in my opinion, but they like change it to third person and that makes it more enjoyable. But I can agree on like being neutral as well because it can be stale. And that's the problem with like hero shooters at the moment. They just get stale over time. Nothing changes, nothing new, and that's the problem.
In the past couple of years, I've never really played a...
I mean, if we're going under the umbrella of professional esport games and using that as our base of games that, you know, copy mechanics or formula, look at real sports. For the most part, real sports don't undergo a lot of patches or meta changes or anything like that. Like, weightlifting is still weightlifting. Curling is still curling. Whatever. Like, basketball is still like, yeah, you'll have like some rule changes like here and there, especially in like the NFL. Oh, you can't tackle the quarterback like really hard. You can kind of tackle him, but you can't rough him up too hard. So that changes the meta of football. And then this new thing, that is like the what is it? The kickoff zone or whatever. It's like a new thing. I don't really watch football. I just noticed it happened on the TV. I'm like, what is this? Like, you can't start running until like the dude catches the ball in order to like justify like safety, so the dude doesn't get CTE from getting smacked the moment he catches that shit. Jesus. How boring is that? Yeah, so like some sports go through like a little bit of rule sets, but for the most part, all of the real sports don't change.
different game. And I don't know if that's because everyone's just copying. There's nothing like, I don't know, anything that's like fresh or unique that's came out recently. I think like Balatro, which is just like a card game that I played. Tough to find a game, and I feel like at the moment it's because everyone's like strongly agree. And I think it should be like that, but it's just like nothing's like caught my eye.
There's not a lot of innovation you can do anymore, especially for like competitive games, but I feel like every game has like its own niche that it tries to like, I guess, appeal to. Like I heard even with like the Riot MMO that they're trying to appeal to like a niche, but obviously MMOs have been out for like forever. You have like PoE 2 that came out, which is like more hardcore, but it's the same type of game. So I don't think it's entirely wrong to copy design since everything's kind of the same already anyways, but yeah.
It's super hard to make a unique game, yeah.
Children should not play mature rated games.
Ooh. Children should not play mature rated games. Yeah. This is a strongly agree. Everybody's over here. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't think anybody's like debating this on like if I were to go to like strongly disagree, I would look like the biggest asshole. Like, yeah, kids should be able to play games rated M for mature. Like, you look like an idiot.
Because this comes out to like more of, like, to me, if my kid's 11, I really don't care if he plays anything. 11, 12.
What takes it to be rated M?
Like,
I mean, to be fair, these guys are probably working under the umbrella of the ESRB. The ESRB has a bunch of different things. Let me see. Let's go to the ESRB website. Rating guide. Ooh, let's go rating guide. What is E for everybody? Content generally suited for all ages. May contain cartoon, fantasy, mild violence. Okay, or use of mild language. E 10 plus. Content generally suitable for ages 10 and up. May contain cartoon, fantasy, mild violence, mild language, or minimal suggestive themes. Content. So we got teen, 13 and up. Crude humor, minimal blood, simulated gambling, infrequent use of strong language, 17 plus. Okay, generally suitable for ages 17 and up, may contain intense violence, blood, gore, sexual content, strong language. And then I don't really know of any games like AO. If you do this, I mean, you're pretty much shooting yourself in the foot when you make your game AO. Rating pending, likely 17 plus. So, yeah, like kids, yeah, go hang out over here. Everybody else, do whatever.
Source showed me like my first.
Yeah, it's a rated episode. Well, not that they like should play, but like I think they should be allowed to. I mean, growing up, I was playing like a lot of Gears of War and Call of Duty as a kid, and I think that's part of who I am today. That's why I'm like.
This is a good point, because this was me. I play, like, was original Gears of War mature? It had to have been. Was it Gears of War 1 rating? ESRB. M. Wow. Was I playing this when I was a kid? Or was I playing this when I was like 17? I don't remember. I think I was. I'm not sure. But I damn sure didn't develop any gambling habits, any violent tendencies while I was playing the game. I mean, in Gears of War, you got like a chainsaw gun, and you're literally just cutting limbs of locust soldiers.
Pretty good at like games in general, just because I played a lot of like shooters on console, like Gears of War and like Halo and COD. So I think it's good.
I mean, I think growing up, like I was also playing a lot of video games, and at the same time, like it took a toll on my mental in a way. So like, I feel like if I ever have a kid, I'm just like not gonna let them like touch a video game until like they're at least 14 or 15. So
no,
like speaking from experience, I wouldn't let my child like, you know.
Okay, so there's a little bit to unpack when it comes to like the ESRB rating. If the game has like gambling or simulated gambling or adult themes, I would probably not want my kid playing that game. But if there's like some violence or something like that, I probably wouldn't give a shit.
No, I just like, no, I wouldn't let my child, you know?
You're 11?
Yeah, I was, but like.
Wait, then how can you ever take that away from your kids?
No, like, okay, it has its benefits for sure, but at the same.
Challenger at 11 is League of Legends. What's the League of Legends rating from the ESRB? League of Legends ESRB rating. It's teen. So League of Legends is rated T for teen, and he was not a teenager. Challenger at 11? That's crazy. Damn.
Same time, like, I don't think it's worth it, you know? I don't think it's like worth all the mental stress. Yeah, exactly, you know, like.
I would let my kid know playing video games is terrible for your mental.
Yeah.
But it's like there's no like.
What was I doing when I was 11? I think I was playing video games when I was 11. My first video games were like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Sonic the Hedgehog. What else? A lot of Sonic the Hedgehog. Donkey Kong. That fucking Aladdin game on NES. It was damn near impossible to beat. What else? And then after that, it was it N64 or PlayStation? I can't really remember. I think I was playing like Medal of Honor on PlayStation, and then all the N64 games of like Super Smash Brothers, Kirby, all the stuff like that. So I think the games were just a product of their time. Back then, the graphics were so bad. In order to depict some sort of like, I mean, you didn't really have a lot of gambling or mature rated content back then, because games just had to, all these studios had to build up their reputation and had to deliver you a good game in the first place. Yeah, you had things like 007 on the N64. It's like you're shooting guys and it's like, oh, they just bleed out blood, but it's just like red pixels. But like, it's not as graphic and intense as it is now. Like, even like even a game with shitty graphics today is still like miles ahead of like a game like 007 back then. Just miles. So the games are literally just a product of their time. What could have been considered today as mature, probably not so much today.
Think about if your parents took away your right to play video games until you were 14. Like, you want to do it. You're good.
Well, and we're talking about all video games. Like, bro, like everybody's playing some sort of like RuneScape or something like that. Like, Nintendo games are notorious for not having a lot of like violence in them. Like, what's the most violent video games for Nintendo? Link or Zelda? Because he can slash around with a sword. Other than that, like, pick your favorite character from Nintendo. Donkey Kong. It's a platformer. You collect bananas. All right, that's a video game.
Like, wouldn't that suck?
It would suck during that time, but like, you shouldn't let them touch it in the first place, And then I feel like it'd be fine.
So you're saying you wish your parents did that with you?
Well, honestly, not anymore, just because of like how everything's been going. But like, if it didn't go good at the same time, it's like a big risk.
No, actually, no.
Yeah.
I mean, your opinion's fair. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just like, I don't know. I'd just rather them doing like a sport, like a physical thing, rather than like they're just looking at the screen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think video games would, affect you too much, because like I played like mature video games when I was like younger. Like at like a certain age, my parents let me play my dad let me play Grand Theft Auto because I was just putting motorcycles in my San Andreas garage. Like, that's all I did in GTA. But I think if they like raise you right, I don't think it would mess with your mental too much. But who knows? Maybe it does. Maybe I'm crazy. Who knows?
Every game should have an easy difficulty.
Oh my God. What a divisive question. Every game should have an easy difficulty. Every game? Just on the basis of every game, no, because how do you like deal with like multiplayer games? I mean, there are games, multiplayer games that have aim assist, so that's kind of like easy mode. But I mean, probably strongly disagree for me.
Every game should have an easy difficulty. You agree or disagree?
So this is a disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see what's the problem. Some people just want a game to have fun. That's all.
I mean, I also agree. I think every game already does kind of an easy mode. Even online games, you have co-op vs AI. You have the fucking tutorial. Every game already has an inbuilt easy mode, and it's up to you whether or not to play it.
Easy mode is just too boring, so I don't think it's useful. Yeah, I don't think it's useful.
Easy mode just ruined the purpose of the game. I think the story should be hidden behind actually playing game that is hard. And also, I just grew up, one of my favorite games of all time is just a permadeath game, Realm of the Mad God. And it was just legit, if you die, your entire character gets wiped. And it was just really fun. And I think it just builds a lot more stress and anxiety. And I don't know, it makes you really grow attached to the game when there's something to actually be held accountable to versus just playing and making it easy. I think some games are just meant to be hard, and that's how they should be. And making an easy mode, it defeats the purpose.
Yeah, there you go. He encapsulated the whole thing. Perfect.
Should be somewhat challenging. I'm gonna be honest. Like if I play a game on easy mode, I'm most likely not gonna replay the game on like a higher difficulty. You know, I'm gonna try to play it on the normal or the hard mode, depending. And I think like the challenge, the stress, like you said, is kind of what makes the game fun. When a game is just, like you're just walking around and everything just does it for you, you're not really even playing a game. You're kind of just like, it's an interactive like movie, I guess, you know what I mean? And that's not really a game for me.
Using cheats or hacks in games should be a prosecutable crime.
Oh, God. Everybody is taking a walk way over here to strongly agree. Jesus.
Wait, strongly agree. Where's that?
You agree?
I'm not getting death penalty.
What'd he say? I'm not giving death penalty, but you guys are going to jail.
Like you would go to jail or...
Oh, yeah, straight to prison. Straight to prison.
Like they should be punished.
I'll punish them myself. I'll punish them myself.
No, definitely cheated in CS when you were 12.
Let me tell you.
I know you're spin botting in CS.
I'm on the strongly agree side for the hacking issue. Probably a little bit of bias because I play Call of Duty and my ranked play is plagued with hackers. But I think you should, at the very least, have to verify your ID to play any ranked game mode in any game.
Yeah, sure.
And if you
Why
get caught
not?
hacking, you are not allowed to play ranked in any game mode ever again. Cheating in at least tournaments, which happens in like Fortnite and other games that hold online tournaments, literally steals thousands and tens of thousands of dollars from people.
So I think like.
And if you think it's bad in video games, just imagine all the other industries that are completely unrelated to video games that people are cheating in. Look at sports, look at business, look at stocks, stock market, look at, pick your favorite business industry, look at what happens on a state level, look what happens on a national level, look what happens at an international level. Everybody is cheating. A, B, C. Always be cheating. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Like video games is literally built for fun, and hackers literally just insta ruin the fun for like, let's say Valorant. That's 9 people that are not having fun when there's a hacker on any team because it's an auto win or you just auto lose. Yeah, and like battle royales, one person can kill 60 people or 90 people, and then 60 to 90 people don't have fun either. So it's like literally the worst thing you can do in video games.
I'm in the neutral mainly because like I agree with I think Ghosty said it. Like if you cheat in a tournament, like yeah, you're legit like stealing money from other people. But if you like cheat in like ranked game competitive, like obviously that's bad. No one likes that. I don't know if you should be punished like jail time or like fined or anything like that.
Everyone thinks it's bad. I'm just curious why the strongly agree people think normal, everyday people should go to jail for it. Because basically kids play games all the time and they're dumb. Like they're young kids, they don't know what they're doing. I almost.
Yeah. Cheats and hacks should be prosecuted by crime. Little kids, if they cheat, they should go to jail. I mean, hey, you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Almost guarantee the vast majority of the population has cheated in games before. So I think the worst punishment should be up to the developer. They get banned from the game or whatever.
Yeah, but most developers don't have the time, the resources, the people to do that. All the developers for all of your favorite esports games are lazy as fuck. They are. They don't even want to do manual bans. All right? They're too lazy to do that.
They lose their account, but going to jail is pretty insane.
Okay, then I think if you're like a kid, then that's a little different. It's like, yeah, if you're 12 fucking cheating in CS, then it doesn't matter. It's like, you should get banned.
Yeah, bans
But
account.
you shouldn't like go to jail. But if you're like a grown-ass man, like downloading and paying for cheats, then you should definitely be going to jail.
Yeah, it ruins your experience, but I'll just say like in other sports, there's also cases of cheating, and I think.
Oh yeah, he's about to spit out the old "there's steroids in sports" thing. And nobody's going to jail there. How about just pay a fine? How about just pay a big ass fine? No, they're not going to do that. The fine sizes for all of these sports and all of your favorite and like football, baseball, basketball sports leagues, everybody is making millions of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars hand over foot. The fines are like, oh, 5,000, oh, 10,000, oh, 1,000, oh. This is drops in a bucket. That's what that is. So when the fines are only that big, it's not a like a fine so much as a cost to do the cheating thing.
For example, contact sport like MMA or UFC, there are a lot of cheaters who take steroids and they actually cause physical harm and they don't go to jail. But I do think it's pretty fucked up too. Like,
Okay,
if
but
they're not going to jail, I don't think you should go to jail for aimbotting.
Yeah, that makes sense. For online games, like your IP usually doesn't get banned, so they can make like multiple accounts. But if you get banned in real life sports, you are permanently done. Like you will be perma-banned if you do steroids in baseball.
This is also not so much a video game only thing. This is a league thing of not just for video games, but for all sports. All right, sports would be so much cooler if all the leagues actually had penalties that were punishable by jail. Like if you cheat or you do some shiesty shit, you're just out. All right? You want some competitive integrity in your sports? Oh, the refs paid off. Oh, this guy, he was able to do this or that. We could see everything that happens on the field. The cameras we have nowadays are insane. There are 20 different cameras on one field. We can see everything that happens, and what they show on TV is not even a fraction of what some of these cameras catch. Oh, that guy's holding. That guy put something in the dude's eyes or whatever. This guy has some sticky tacky on his hand so he can like catch the ball or some bullshit like that. Like these leagues, if they were to grow a spine, they would actually put like real penalties to their rule sets to be able to enforce competitive integrity. Until they do that, sports is a joke.
And MMA, so they will be perma-banned from the sport, but in games, you can just make another account and then insta-cheat again. And just do it over and over again.
Fucking hell, mate. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah, so it's just a cat and a mouse game. So how do we solve this, guys? Huh? How do we solve this? He said, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know." Of course you don't know.
Like a new reason, pretty much agree. Majority of people that play video games are kids and they're super impressionable. And I feel like cheating is a pretty like attractive option for people that don't want to put in the hard work to be as good as like their favorite streamer or like video game player. Kids are pretty like impulsive, so like they might make a bad decision.
Most streamers get boosted in ranked and aren't really that good.
Like Nate Shot.
What the fuck did dude say? The dude said Nate Shot. Oh my god, he's looking at his contract right now. It's like, oh yeah, really? Oh, okay. Most streamers get boosted. I don't know. This is a fucking dumb question. Who gives a shit?
Nate Shot's definitely boosted.
Like Nate Shot gets boosted a little bit.
Nate Shot's boosted for sure.
I would say like the big streamers, a lot of them get carried by like their.
It depends, man. Like anybody who's anybody can stream. So it's like most streamers. When people say most streamers, they just think of like the top fucking 50 people, like Tim, Nick, maybe Timmy. I don't fucking know. Whoever else is up there. This is a dumb question.
Pro friend, but see, like someone like Timmy, he's big, but like he can play solo, and you can tell that he's like super good at Valorant, Apex. But for a lot of the other,
Oh, look at Timmy jokingly going over to strongly disagree or strongly agree.
big streamers, that there's some garbage streamers.
The rank that they usually get stuck at, I do think it is a little bit higher than where they should be. Like I see it all the time. I mean, I do it with friends, you know, like it's just kind of how it is. Every rank is a little bit different.
It is how it is.
And, you know, I think people have to grind through each rank and get past like bad teammates or how like a certain type of player plays. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure
No,
in
you're 100% correct.
in
what you're saying,
Valorant,
yeah.
I mean, I'm a Radiant player and I go play against a pro team. Yeah, it's chalked. It's over. Right? They're just playing a different game. You know what I mean? Being a different type of player can actually be a benefit inside that elo. So it's really hard to say.
I feel like most streamers, like some of them that actually like play the game, they'll end up just like naturally, gravitating to their rank. I don't think any streamer really just does solo queue of like Valorant. Let's just say solo queue. They don't look for a duo. They don't try to trio or anything to just solo queue. You'll never get like the actual authentic experience. You're never gonna have the same skill level person playing ranked, and so one of them will be boosted. One of them just has to be.
Like by a little bit. Like you're saying like a
just
tier.
the nature. Like let's say I'm a diamond player, Kel's a plat player in the league, whatever the fuck, and it just.
You know what? You could also frame this question as, what do people care about more? Competitive integrity or entertainment? And competitive integrity is like over here, and then entertainment is over here. Look where everybody has like divided themselves up. Nobody gives a shit about competitive integrity, and they just want to be entertained. Most streamers get boosted and aren't really that good. Probably true. Most of the time, they're just like mildly entertaining. I just want to be entertained. Are you not entertained? There.
So happens like I'll just boost them up, like, or yeah, they'll just
But I
happen.
do agree with like the cap limit. They'll reach a cap eventually, and then they're just like boosted by one tier in that cap, and then they'll sit there for a long time.
You get to a point at a certain rank where you're just going to be capped out and you're not going to be able to get boosted anymore. So I feel like once you get to that rank, you can be quite a detriment to your team, and someone's not going to be able to pull you up anymore. And that's why, I strongly disagree.
Well, personally, I think in League of Legends, you can't duo past Master, I think. So, I mean, if you get boosted to Master, that's still like a low elo. So.
I just say streamers are probably the most transparent out of like social media people because they're always live, they're always showing their progress. So I say if you look at YouTube or something, definitely there's probably a bunch of people getting boosted. I'm sure there are like small amount of streamers getting boosted, but vast majority are where they're at, and if they weren't, they'd receive like a bunch of backlash really, really easily because it's too transparent to see who's getting boosted and who's not.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
To kick off the new.
All right, not bad. Some of the questions were like good ones, and then other ones were like layups. It's whatever, but overall, this was cool. Yeah, do more content like that. Get all the boys together and force them to do some shit. Yeah. Other than that, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.